الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Today I wanted to come now, but I needed Google Map with me. What does this mean? Many people, they stand in different locations, but none of them is taking sutra for him. And I need to pass by, I can't. Number one. We have some problems in our way of worship, of prayer. Like for instance, first, sutra is wajib. Sutra is wajib. You know what Umar used to do? If he sees someone standing in the prayer without taking sutra for himself, he used to drag him until he let him stand behind one of the pillars of the masjid. This is narrated authentically. Sometimes he used to be hitting someone to give him a notice that, why didn't you take a sutra for yourself? We don't know that. So this is the first problem. Second problem. Some of the brothers, the moment they finish their prayer, they stand up and give the sunnah. There are other people who came early and they want to go, especially on Friday. Especially on Friday. Do you know that the sunnah is to go home immediately? Because Friday is off, unlike the situation here. But since Friday is off, that means you go back usually home. Don't make the sunnah here. And this is wise. Because many people want to go, especially those who came early, and they want to go performing the sunnah, coming back quickly. They can't. They're stuck. Stuck by who? By those who pray immediately. This is unwise. Second, without taking sutra, which is disobedience. Because the Prophet said, you should be taking a sutra. Even in the desert, he used to be sticking his anaza. Anaza means stick. Placing it firmly. And then, no, it doesn't harm you. Who passes after that? Doesn't harm you. Be it a dog or monkey, donkey, or doesn't matter. We don't know that. Now, praying immediately after salah, that's against the sunnah. Once, one man after the salah finished, he stood up and started to perform prayer. Umar pushed him down. He said, this was one of the problems of the people of Israel before us. We are ordered to make any separation between the prayer and the other prayer, not to stand up and make another prayer immediately. Then he went complaining him to the Prophet ﷺ. Then the Prophet said about Umar, Sadaq. He's truthful. This is narrated in Sahih Muslim. What I bring to you, authentically. I never narrate to you something from my opinion or weak, or I did not make sure about it before I tell you. So if you pray immediately, and you don't take in consideration the sutra, which is wajib as I mentioned, you're making it difficult on people. There are people who want to leave. You know why? Especially because the most preferable prayer to be performed for you is in the house. This is the best prayer to be performed inside the house, not here. I'm not finished, except the obligatory one. The obligatory one here. Any advisable prayer, preferable prayer, home, not here. So imagine on Friday, it's very difficult for people to leave. They keep looking in the back, oh, not yet, wait. Not yet, wait. Or, like sometimes, I look in the back, oh, here, there's access, but here there's no access. Let's look at the other side. Here there's access, yep. We're making it difficult on people, it's not wise. When you make sujood, I'm remembering things, negative things that we do in our prayer. One person was praying like this, and I was sitting as imam, and I finished my prayer, and he was praying the sunnah immediately. And he was praying like this and looking at me, like this. And I got angry, and I was going to say to him, excuse me, did I kill your mother? Why are you looking at me like this? Where you should be looking when you're standing at the place where you make sujood, the spot of sujood. This is the sunnah. What you should be doing in terms of tashahhud, you look at your moving finger. What moving finger? This is Salafi. Yes, our Salaf, and this is Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. Our Salaf is Muhammad. What's the meaning of Salaf? Those who preceded you. Not in time, in faith, in the way of worship. Those are our Salaf. That's why there are even some Salafis who do not understand the meaning of the word Salafi. We should understand it, what it means. We are not Hizb. We're not cult. No, we are a group of people who dedicate themselves, confining themselves on following the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because this is the condition for those who say, we love the Prophet Muhammad. Okay, go ahead and follow him. Don't disobey him if you love him. Do you know, once I was in a masjid, and they had the maintenance problem in the front. So they had to pray in the middle. There's no problem. It's allowed. But the problem, they don't put sutra. Sutra, anything. The minimum should be like this, the minimum. The Prophet said, مِثْلَ مُؤْخِرَةِ الرَّحِلِ. Yani it should be a little bit higher like that. So he didn't take sutra, the Imam. So I said, after Salah, I said to the Imam, oh no, before I put something, he said, there's no need. I said, why? He said, no one is going to pass by. I said, the Prophet ﷺ used to be doing this even in the desert. In the desert, there's no one. And yet the Prophet used to be putting the stick in front of him, then he prays. He said, but we are Hanafis. I said, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. So I said, Abu Hanifa was Muhammadi. Wasn't he Muhammadi? Wasn't he follow the Sunnah? Do you think that Abu Hanifa was not following the Sunnah? Sometimes there are troubles. We're not really following Abu Hanifa. We don't really exactly know what was the way of Abu Hanifa sometimes. Look, I said to him, when he said to me, but I am Hanafi, I said, look, I did not invite you for Imam Shafi'i. I invited you for the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You said to me, I am Hanafi. If I said to you, I'm Shafi'i, then you have the right to say, I'm Hanafi. But if I said to you, this is the Sunnah, you shouldn't be opposing the way of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, saying, Abu Hanifa himself doesn't like that. If an answer was given to him like this, you'll be correcting. So we should be taking sutra. It is wajib. It is wajib to take sutra. Okay. What else? What else? Oh, about moving the finger. Do we say Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, then put the finger off? No. That's not the way the Prophet used to do it. How the Prophet was doing it? According to the hadith of Wa'il ibn Hujr in Sahih Muslim, he was observing exactly the way of the Prophet's prayer. So among the things he described, that the Prophet used to be moving his finger, supplicating Allah simultaneously with the moving of the finger. Like this. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد كما صليت على آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى محمد كما باركت على آل إبراهيم. That's the sunnah. There is no sunnah in raising the finger especially for Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. No, that's not what was described with the Prophet's prayer. No. He was moving it, يدعو يحرك. This is the exact description in Sahih Muslim. فرأيته, I saw him. يحركها يدعو بها. And even some Salafis, when they move it, they don't know why. They go like this. Like this. This is not indicator. This is not indicator. You should know why you do it. Not like this. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى وَصَلَّيْتَ عَلَى آلِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ. When you are approaching Allah, addressing Allah, you're moving your finger up. That's the sunnah. If anyone has something else, please tell me. I'll say astaghfirullah, I'm sorry, and I'll declare it in front of anyone. Please. We have to worship Allah on basira, with high consciousness. With high consciousness. Basira. Basira is the sight of the heart. Yani with full awareness. Because what is considered is not the quantity of the prayer, but the quality of the worship. Not the quantity of the worship, but the quality of the worship. What do I mean by quality? What is the type of the worship? Does it match the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam or not? And that's why we're going to start our lecture now about straightening the rows, not R-O-S-E, but R-O-W-S. You know the difference between rows and rows? Yeah. If we have some young children, we're going to sing to them, Rosie, Rosie? No, we don't do that. Rows means the lines in the prayer. But some people may come and say, wait a minute, Sheikh, people in Syria are dying, people in Palestine are dying, and you're coming today talking to us about straightening the rows. I said, excuse me, were you going there fighting? And I said to you, stop, come here, don't go there. We have a lecture. Did I say that to you? I didn't say that to you. There's a need for learning about deen, about how to pray to Allah. You know, Uthman radiallahu anhu used to be when he was going with the army, leading the army, in his leadership, yani after the death of Umar, he always used to say, shall I show you how the Prophet wudu was? Shall I show you how the Prophet's way of prayer was? He was teaching them how to do that. That's important. It's a daily worship. You have to improve it. Don't get angry if I correct you. Because Allah ordered you, the Prophet ordered you, to say at the end of your prayer, at the last of your prayer, Allahumma inni ala dhikrika wa shukrika wa husni ibadatik. Oh Allah, help me being remembering, sorry, linguistically it doesn't go, but I understood it. To be thankful, okay, that's good. To be thankful to you. And to help me to enhance my worship to you. Wa husni ibadatik. You need this. You're asking Allah to help you improving your prayer. So don't get angry if someone came and corrected a mistake in your prayer. Don't get angry. What the Prophet made it important should be important to us. If there's something important to the Prophet, don't say it's not important now, there's something more important. No, that's not fair. What is important to the Prophet should be important to us. Let's see now. Let's see what is important. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was saying alayhi salatu wassalam, عباد الله لتسون صفوفكم أو لا يخالفن الله بين قلوبكم. Servants of Allah, either you straighten, you fix your rows, your lines in the prayer, either you do that, or Allah will be causing a division that takes place between your hearts. That means against one another. This hadith is authentic, narrated by Abu Dawood authentically. Hadith number 662. Albani said it is authentic, Sahih. In Sahih Bukhari, Anas said, after this, you should see how we used to be praying after that. The one of us used to be sticking his shoulder to the shoulder of the other brother, and his foot to his foot. His foot to his foot. I try to do that sometimes, especially back home. If I stick my foot to the other one, he goes, ew. He moves away. Then I chase him, ew. Then he goes away. And he keeps, how should I describe those people? And he keeps moving away. And I was saying to him, Wallahi, brother, I have no skin disease. I have no jarab. Do you know what is the meaning of jarab? Huh? What? What do you call it? Let one speak. What? They call it Pikius? Huh? Scapy. So I was saying, I'm not scapy. Why are you escaping? I'm not scapy. Don't escape. Because I'm not scapy. I don't have, what do you call it also? Itchy, you know? Itchy problem in the skin. What do you call it? Come on, English people. Yeah, when you have always to, huh? No, brush. I don't have skin problems. Come on, stick your foot to my foot. You know what? When the Prophet said this, you know what it means? When you stick to one another, this will be bringing more love between the Muslim and the Muslim. Let those who cry shed the tears of I'm not going to call it crocodile, it's too harsh. But those who cry and say, oh, we need the unity of the Ummah. This is one of the reasons, one of the causes of the unity. You're talking about the unity, the importance of unity, huh? And you keep big spaces between you and your brother. You're talking about unity. The Prophet said, either you stick or Allah will be dividing. Not your body. Since you divided your bodies, Allah is going to cause a division in the hearts. That's what the Prophet said. This is in Bukhari, hadith number 725. And the previous hadith in Sunan Abi Dawud, narrated authentically. Servants of Allah. Either you do that, you straighten your rows, or Allah will be dividing your hearts. That's why Bukhari put this hadith under this title. باب إلزاق المنكب بالمنكب والقدم بالقدم في الصف. He put the chapter, he put this title. The subtitle of sticking shoulder to shoulder and foot to foot in the row. Foot to foot in the row. And Bukhari, by the way, is extremely faqih. Bukhari, he's wise in putting the suitable titles for the suitable hadith. That's how people of hadith classified Bukhari, that he is so wise in selecting the words, the right title. So isn't it amazing that the Prophet ﷺ is clinging, connecting, comparing, threatening, showing the threatening of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that if your bodies divide, your hearts will be deprived from unity. So Allah loves this. Does Allah love it? Okay, do it if you know that Allah loves it. Because Allah said in the Quran, إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ الَّذِينَ يُقَاتِلُونَ فِي سَبِيلِهِ صَفًّا كَأَنَّهُمْ بُنْيَانٌ مَرْصُوصٌ. Indeed, Allah loves those who fight in His cause in a row as though they are a single structure, joined firmly. Have you seen the Korean army when they have this, what do you call it, parade? Huh? Militant parade? And they keep looking like this, as one person, as if it's the moving of one person, mashallah. They have to do it. Otherwise, a big punishment. Will they be saying to the leader, that's unfair? They don't dare. They don't dare to say unfair. Then the Prophet ﷺ said in another hadith, Uskunu fi salah. Be calm in the prayer. I've seen one guy in the prayer standing beside me. I'm not going to tell you where. And he was praying like this when he entered the prayer. After finishing the prayer, I said, brother, don't you have time to clean your nails out of the prayer? MashaAllah, you're a very busy person, very businessman. Didn't have time to fix your nails, but only in the prayer? He said, Jazakallah khair, thank you. There's another problem. There are people also who distract you, who discourage you from sticking your foot to their foot. Who are those? Those who lengthen their toe under the ankle, as if it looks like a garment. Battaniya. You know the garment? It's very long. So when you stand beside them, their thobes start to tickle you. You are about to laugh in the prayer. Their long thobe, Allah knows why it is important to shorten your thobe. This is one of the reasons. Because there's a need to stick your foot to the foot of your brother. And when you do that, and your thobe is very long, your thobe is going to be tickling him. So don't let him laugh in the prayer. He may laugh in the prayer. Would you like to laugh in the prayer? No. And that happened to me. And I said to the brother, after finishing the prayer, your thobe was about to cause me laughing. It was doing this to me. Please. So this is discouragement from applying the sunnah. And he said, Uskunu fi salah, be calm. There are people who play in their prayer. Especially those who have ghutra, they go like this, and they take the other. And what happened next? Akh! They hid their eyes. Akh! That happens, wallahi. So these are signs that if the heart was in the mode of tranquility, the body will be in the mode of tranquility. But it doesn't seem that those people have this tranquility. Inna fi salati la shughlan. This is what the Prophet said. There is something that makes you busy in the prayer. And there are people who do not understand what they say in the prayer. They return to their consciousness right after they say, Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Excuse me, brother, did you know what you were reciting in the prayer? No, Allah, I don't know. Do you know where were you? I think the airplane took off when I said Allahu Akbar, and it landed when I said Assalamu alaikum. So I was tourist, mashallah. Where? I was in Pakistan, thinking about family, thinking about business, real estate. Bismillah, mashallah. So the prayer is the best place where you can reflect something about your business and affairs. Bismillah, mashallah. The Prophet said, Inna fi salati la shughlan. He did not say, Inna fi salati inshigalan. There's a difference between shughlan and inshigalan. Inshigalan, yani I'm busy from my prayer. Shughlan, that means I'm busy in my prayer. There's difference. Do you know this ayah? Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la taqrabu as-salata wa antum sukara. Do not pray while you are drunk. That means it's allowed to drink alcohol if I finish my prayer. This is what I understand from the ayah. It was before, but the ayah was abrogated in hukum, in ruling, but not in recitation. In recitation, the ayah is still there. But as a matter of ruling, It used to be at the beginning time of Islam. Then it became haram, khalas. But what is the benefit in this? What did Allah say? حَتَّى تَعْلَمُوا مَا. Let me hear it from you, please. مَا تَقُولُونَ. Do not come to the prayer. Don't engage yourself with the prayer while you're drunk, so you will be knowing what you're saying. Because if you are drunk, this intoxication will be stopping you from knowing what you're saying. Is that right? Right? We do not know what we say in our prayer without intoxication. Without intoxication. We did not drink yet. We don't know what we say in our prayer. Tragedy! Catastrophe! So the prayer is not making its great effect in you. You want to quit the sin. And you, as if you're blaming Allah. Oh Allah, didn't you say in Quran, إِنَّ الصَّلَاةَ تَنْهَى عَنِ الْفَحْشَاءِ وَالْمُنْكَرِ, that the prayer shackles, prevent from fahsha, from sin, from abomination? Why my prayer doesn't? Look at the way you perform your prayer, mashallah. You need to bring your iPhone, put it in front of you, and video yourself. See how you perform your prayer. So unfortunately, I say, there is no intoxication. But we did not apply the ayah. You should know what you say. And many people pray, and they're not intoxicated, yet they don't know what they say in the prayer. Why? It's the devil. The Prophet said that when you start performing your prayer, the devil comes and say, "Udhkur kada, lima lam yakun yadhkur." He said, remember this, remember that. And he is not to be remembering them out of his prayer. But the devil comes and says, remember this, remember that, remember this. No. Some people gave fatwa that if you lost something, perform 2 rak'ah. And you will be remembering where did you lose it. While you're praying, you will remember. Bismillah, mashallah. Strange. So the Prophet ﷺ said also, أَلَا تَصُفُّونَ كَمَا تَصُفُّ الْمَلَائِكَةُ عِنْدَ رَبِّهَا. Shouldn't you be fixing your rows just like the fixed rows of the angels with their Lord? So we should be having the same line the way the angels do when they stand before Allah up. They said, how we do that, O Rasulullah? How the angels stand orderly with their Lord. I want you to remember this. The Prophet said, يُتِمُّونَ الصُّفُوفَ الْأُوَلِ. They complete the front lines, unlike us. You know, sometimes some people, they come quickly. And if they enter and they see the Imam making ruku', Allahu Akbar, they want to catch it. Why? They are business people, you know. They don't have time to make another rak'ah. So they want to jump to catch the ruku'. Because if you catch this rak'ah, that means you have caught already what? The whole rak'ah. Because the Prophet said, the whole rak'ah, bi-idrak al-ruku'. That means if you were not with the Imam when he was reciting Al-Fatiha, etc., but you came while the Imam is making ruku', if you catch the ruku', that means you caught the whole rak'ah. So those people want to catch the ruku'. So they come fast. And they have to blind themselves from looking right and left in the front lines, because that will be taking time, and they may lose the rak'ah. So they make another line. And there are many people, they don't check the front lines, and they establish a new line. For those people, they deserve this hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which was narrated authentically, لا صلاة لمنفرد خلف الصف. There is no salah for one who establish a new line, and he is he who solely make a line in the prayer. What is the understanding of this? Which means, if a person came and established a second line by himself and there is no second person with him, his salah may be even lost. What? But this man came and he took effort in order to pray. Are you telling him to get back home and to pray at home if he doesn't find a second one to stand beside him? There's a weak hadith. The weak hadith says you can take someone from the front, someone from the front, and so you can establish a line with him. But wait a minute, haram, poor boy, haram. That's too bad for him. He came early to catch the greatest rewardable position behind the imam, and you take him away from this special place? It's not unfair. This hadith is weak, by the way. You can take someone from the front. So what happens now? All the lines should be fixed one by one by one. So what do you have to do? You have to check in the edges of the line, right or left. If you didn't find, fine. You can establish a new line by yourself, even if you're one. Because لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. It can't be that we said to you, get back home. You came to pray to catch the reward of Jama'ah. How can we say to you, get back home? So the full understanding of the hadith is, if you checked the previous line and you found it full, completely, then there's an excuse for you to make a new line. Otherwise, you're not excused. We need to learn the sunnah. So there are two things, descriptions of the angels, how they stand in their line. First, يُتِمُّونَ الصُّفُوفَ الْأُوَلِ. They complete the front lines. وَيَتَرَاصُونَ فِي الصَّفِّ. And they stick to one another in the line. Alaykum as-salam. This is how the angels, and this is what you should be doing. You're imitating the angels in this. Where is that hadith? In Sahih Muslim, hadith number 1322. Now, one person I remember, may Allah forgive him, but I was about to make dua against him. I hated what he did. I was sticking to him in the prayer and he was moving his foot away. Then he moved. After salah I said to him, brother, why are you doing this? Don't you know that the Prophet ordered us to stick to one another? You know what was his answer? Did you eat garlic today? I said, no. He said, you smell garlic. I said, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Khalas, thank you. For 1 year, I was not praying beside him, moving away from him. I was really sad. During that year, subhanAllah, I saw him using a wheelchair. Very, very expensive one. Just move it by his finger like this. Rear, front, right, left. He can't walk anymore. You know the chair that works by battery? Yeah. SubhanAllah. That reminded me when the Prophet ﷺ said to a man, Kul bi yaminik, eat by your right. The man said, La astati'. He's arrogant. He said, I can't. The Prophet is very soft, but it goes through the right person. The Prophet said to him, لاستطعت. May you not be able. This dua. The narrator of this hadith said, I saw the man, after the dua of the Prophet ﷺ, he could not raise his hand anymore. The left one. Or the right one. Anyway, he could not raise his hand anymore. أصابته دعوة الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم. The da'wah of Rasulullah hit him. So this is, we call it mu'anada, persistence in evil, caused by sometimes arrogance. There was a stupid guy. Sorry for calling him stupid. I was trying to pull him beside me. As I pushed him to my side, there was another one who pushed him, who pulled him to him. And he was praying, and he said, "As-saf min hana." He was speaking. Oh my God. Sometimes, people are arrogantly behaving. Another one, there's an imam who was saying to the people, "Istawu, istawu, istawu." At the third one, there's one in the back, he said, "Stawaina." We are ripe already. Because the word istawa means stand firmly, and it means also the food is ripe already. Stawa. So he said, "Stawaina, we are ripe." So some people, subhanallah, they behave arrogantly. Subhanallah, in Europe, I see people practicing this sunnah more than, subhanallah, back home. Even in Saudi Arabia, wallahi. They're not so serious in sticking the foot to the foot. Subhanallah al-Azim. A Turkish brother came to me, and I know those people, subhanAllah, when they come to me, I know what they want. They're talking about those who pray like this, and they make their feet just like a scissor. So they say to me, "Sheikh, is this a prayer?" But I know that this questioner does not consider the importance of sticking the foot to the foot. So I had to say this to him. When you narrowed, he had to widen. When you narrowed, because he narrowed his legs like this. So he had to fill the gap. The other one had to fill the gap. So if that person narrowed like this, the other one, he's obliged to widen his legs in order what? To fill the gap. And we have problem. We don't fill the gap. As I said to you sometimes, we hear, and if you go to London, you hear this in the underground. Mind the gap. Mind the gap. So we have to use their term here in the masjid saying, fill the gap. Fill the gap. We have to do it. So I said to him, normally, if a person is praying alone by himself, he shouldn't be opening his feet like that. It's not sunnah. And regarding raising it up, not to the neck, because you may be suffocated. No, not here. But here, yes. And putting it on the chest is better than putting it on the head of the stomach here. Because you can't breathe soundly when you put it on the head of the stomach like that. It doesn't help much. It's better to put it on the ribs like this. So your breathing here will be complete, perfect. Whereas if you put it down like this, you're pushing your stomach. You may not be breathing properly. And you want to finish the prayer. You're not happy. You're not comforted. So we have something, there's hadith of the Prophet who said, Saddidu wa what? None of you know it? Saddidu wa qaribu. Saddidu wa qaribu. Saddidu means hit the target accurately, exactly, on the spot. But if not, at least something close to the spot, to the target. This is the meaning of saddidu wa qaribu. Saddidu means hit the target. Qaribu, something close to the target, if not all. So when some people narrow their feet, some others have to widen their feet in order to fill the gap. So the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam makes it very clear that there's an internal effect on the external mistake. The Prophet said, either you fix your lines, your rows, or Allah will be causing the division between your hearts. There's an internal effect on the external, concerning the external mistake. It will be causing a division. This is what I wanted to mention to you, and I think that's enough for today. We need to know more and more about these issues in order to improve our way of worship. This is a daily worship, and we have to take care of it. So, jazakumullahu khairan wa sallallahu sallam ala Muhammadin wa alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. يا أيها الناس قد جاءتكم موعظة من ربكم وشفاء لما في الصدور وهدى ورحمة للمؤمنين. قل بفضل الله وبرحمته فبذلك فليفرحوا هو خير مما يجمعون. قل أرأيتم ما أنزل الله لكم من رزق فجعلتم منه حراما وحلالا قل الله أذن لكم أم على الله تفترون وما ظن الذين يفترون على الله الكذب يوم القيامة إن الله لذو فضل على الناس ولكن أكثرهم لا يشكرون.